let's get back to the basics, right? Um, Before we get to the 90 days, we need to kind of understand that they're all basics, what the lenders are looking at before they decide to give you a loan. Well, in the past, I talked about how important your credit score is, right? Your credit history and your credit score, it's a track record. It needs to tell a story. So before a lender will give you an actual loan, whether it's a personal loan, car loan, mortgage, whatever the case may be, they need to feel comfortable they are going to give you that loan, that you are going to be able to pay that loan back. And it really starts with your credit score and your credit history. That credit history is so vital, it's so important to them. Uh, that's how they could. That's how they get a sense of the type of relationship that you have with your previous or your current creditors and lenders, right? Uh, it has to make them feel comfortable, right? And the way they would do that is that they would go line by line with your credit report, right? Your credit history, and say, hey, and ask themselves. They actually ask themselves that question: how good were you paying your previous lenders back? And based on that simple question, that would determine if they give you a loan or not. It's just that simple. There's no magic wand. There's nothing else they look at. They look at your credit score and they look at your credit history. What story is it telling? Is it telling the good story or is it telling the bad story? And you don't want it to tell anything different than a good story, because that would tell them you didn't pay your bills on time. Now, I get it. The last year and a half been extremely tough on everyone, right? More people, certain people more so than others, right? A lot of us lost jobs, which put you in hardship. And if you are that person, and I'm not judging anyone's situation, right? I'm just speaking in general. If that's you, reach out to the lenders. They will work with you. They will come up with a plan so you don't put yourself in a bad situation, because trust me, being in the credit industry, it takes a heck of a long time to get your credit where you want it to be. Some people are worse than others. But if you can save your good name, if you can save your good credit, reach out to them, let them know your situation, and see what they have in place. They do have things in place to help you move forward, where you're not having to start all over when you do get back in a good situation, right? Because it's going to take time to fix your credit. The agency that's out there telling you they can fix your credit within 30 days, it's highly unlikely. But because knowing the laws within the credit business, it take 30 to 45 days for the credit bureaus to even get back to you on any request or any dispute. So if someone's saying 30 days, I could get you fixed, I'm not sure exactly what they're gonna do. Then you need to go with that person, because I'm not gonna be able to help you, right? It's again, it's a marathon. It's not a microwave to fix your credit. Just understand that, and that's something I explain to all my clients and anybody that I choose to help. I'll let you know, hey, it's a marathon. It's not a microwave. It's going to take time. You're going to have to invest some time, as well as me and my company, right? And if you don't have time, then we can't work together. If there's no trust, we can't work together. There has to be some type of trust. Exactly, Ashley, that part. Right. So, and I think the agencies out there, you are doing your kind of disservice by not explaining to them, and most importantly, educate them about, credit and the process. And that's why a lot of good agencies out there are getting a bad name, because you have folks that's telling people, and it's none of my business what you tell them, but it's giving all of us a bad name. I can fix you in 15, 30 days. That's not right. In most cases, I would say 99.9% of the time, it's not correct either. But nonetheless, understanding how important it is when a lender look at your credit history, it has to tell a good story. You don't want to be late if you can help it. Late payment establishes a bad relationship. It tells the creditors that you are going to do the same thing. You are going to adapt the same behavior if they give you that loan. You have to try to keep a good track history, right? Take care of your credit report, take care of your credit score. Now, knowing that information, right? Let's get to the 90 days, right? You have to understand what we just talked about in order for you to understand the 90 days. The 90 days rule is it's really what creditors use to predict, right? To predict how likely are you, if they give you that loan, is going to go into default. That's the 90-day rule. In 90 days, based on your credit history and your credit report, how good have you been with other creditors? They can predict in 90 days that that particular loan, if they give it to you, it might go into default. Now, previously, you may have just, had a bad time. You was going through things, family related, COVID, what have you, right? Which caused you to miss a few payments. And you got reported to the credit bureaus and so on and so forth, right? They don't care about that. It is also your job as the consumer to actually reach out to them, let them know, look, I experienced some hardship. I'm going to need your help. What do you have in place to help me so I don't screw my credit? It is your job to do that. And if you fail to do that, they will view you as irresponsible. Okay? So call them up if that's you. Also, and that's another thing I encountered with a couple other clients, that you have too many due dates. So therefore, I forgot to pay my bill. That's no offense, but that's an excuse. We forget things, right? But did you know you can actually go online, right? Either you go online or you can make a quick phone call and change every last due date that you have into a single due date. You can actually do that. Instead of having something due on the 10th, something due on the 15th, something due on the 20th, another one on the 25th, and then on the 30th. Who can keep up with that? Especially the way our country is going right now. We got too much on our plate. I know I can't. Unless you have a budget, right? If you have a budget sheet, with all your bills, and you're very good in consistently updating that budget sheet, and I would advise you to do that. It helped greatly, right? Or you have a calendar, right? That kind of reminds you, hey, you got this bill that's due tomorrow, so let's take care of that. Unless you do that, for me, the simplest way is to really have minimum payment automatically paid set up online through either a debit card or credit card or whatever the case may be. But what I would not advise you to do is cell phone bill, right? The reason being, sometimes let's just say you go out of the country, you have a data plan and you go over that data plan. They are going to kill you in overages. And because you have automatic bill pay, most likely they're going to take that money right out. And that probably take more than what you thought they was going to, because you didn't know about the data bill. And now you stuck with overdraft, and now other bills are not getting paid. So you got to pick and choose which bill that you want the minimum. I would do the minimum automatic pay, because you could always go back and pay more on that bill. But pick and choose which bill and set up an automatic pay for the minimum. That way you're not being late. You could always go back and pay more, right? So, you can go online and actually set up all your bills in one date. That means every single month, all your bill will be due in the same exact date. That way you're not missing out on any bill, because once you miss a payment, it kills your credit score. All right? So the 90-day rule is based on how likely are you. They can actually predict how likely are you for that loan to go into default. So in 90 days, they can't keep it. They have to sell it. They have to write it off. Now, the funny thing about it is that they don't The creditors don't take a loss. You going to take an L, but they not. They're going to write that bill off, right? And then sell it for 10% of the total to a third party. So not only they getting the full amount of money back, they also getting a 10% on top of it for selling the loan to someone else, pennies on a dollar. Now you tell me who's losing, them or you. They're getting more money on top of what they lend you, which you owe them, and then you, on the other hand, your credit score getting killed, right? So understand that. What do we have in here? So that's the 90-day. That's the 90-day rule. So for those of you who have not had a chance to, check your credit history, check your credit report, just to make sure everything is accurate in there, please do so. I can't express enough how important it is for you to do that, right? Because you have the eOSCA that's doing an update once a month. If they update it every single month, then you probably should be checking your report every single month, at least quarterly. At least quarterly. So I hope I was able to pass on a good source of information. I hope someone learned from this. But most importantly, just remember, I will do my own research as well as a disclaimer. Use this information as you see fit. I have not had any interaction with your credit report, your credit history. We have not worked together, so I don't know your situation. This is just for information purposes only, okay? So until next time, that's all I have for you guys. Peace. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Ash.